Guarding your heart, a biblical perspective. In the journey of life, our hearts are akin to well-tended gardens. We must act as diligent gardeners, carefully nurturing what grows within. The Bible, a timeless source of wisdom, provides invaluable guidance on the art of guarding our hearts. In this exploration, we'll delve into 3 key scriptures from the New International Version, NIV, and discover how to apply these verses to the profound task of guarding our hearts. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. The book of Proverbs, attributed to King Solomon, is a treasure trove of practical wisdom. In Proverbs 4:23, we find a powerful reminder of the paramount importance of safeguarding our hearts. It serves as the foundation for understanding the art of heart guarding. At its core, this scripture implores us to recognize that our hearts are the wellspring of our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Like a garden, what we permit into our hearts significantly impacts what flourishes therein. To apply this scripture effectively, we must begin by acknowledging that the heart is not just a physical organ, but the very essence of our being, encompassing our thoughts, emotions, and desires. Guarding our hearts entails a mindful process of filtering, discerning, and nurturing. Just as a vigilant gardener tends to the soil, removing weeds and nourishing the soil for fruitful growth, we must diligently monitor what enters our hearts. Negative influences, such as toxic relationships, harmful media, and destructive thoughts, can pollute the fertile soil of our hearts. Thus, the first step in applying Proverbs 4:23 is to be discerning about what we allow into our hearts. To cultivate a heart that brings forth goodness and positivity, we must consciously seek out influences that nurture it. Surrounding ourselves with positive people, engaging in uplifting activities, and consuming wholesome content can foster a fertile environment for our hearts to flourish. Just as a gardener waters and cares for plants, we must feed our hearts with the sustenance of positivity, love, and virtue. Moreover, guarding our hearts means being vigilant about our inner dialogue. Negative self-talk and self-doubt can be as damaging as external influences. To apply Proverbs 4:23 effectively, we must cultivate a practice of self-compassion and self-affirmation. Replace self-criticism with self-love and self-doubt with self-confidence. By doing so, we create a nurturing atmosphere within, allowing our hearts to thrive. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. The book of Philippians, written by the Apostle Paul, contains a wealth of spiritual guidance and encouragement. Philippians 4:8 provides a roadmap for what we should allow to occupy our thoughts, a critical aspect of guarding our hearts. This scripture urges us to be deliberate in our thought life. It presents a list of virtues that should occupy our mental landscape: truth, nobility, righteousness, purity, loveliness, and things worthy of praise. By focusing our thoughts on these attributes, we are guarding our hearts from the infiltration of negativity, cynicism, and impurity. To apply Philippians 4:8, we must cultivate mindfulness about our thought patterns. Just as a gardener carefully tends to the plants, we must weed out negative thoughts as soon as they sprout. This requires self-awareness and self-control. When we catch ourselves dwelling on thoughts that do not align with the virtues outlined in this scripture, we should actively redirect our thinking towards what is good and virtuous. In practical terms, this means consuming media and content that align with these virtues. It means choosing to engage in conversations that are edifying and uplifting rather than gossip or negativity. It also involves practicing gratitude, for gratitude is a potent antidote to negativity. By consistently acknowledging and appreciating the good in our lives, we nourish our hearts with positivity. Furthermore, applying Philippians 4:8 extends beyond our mental landscape. It shapes our interactions with others. We are called to be a source of truth, nobility, and encouragement to those around us. By living out these virtues in our relationships, we contribute to the cultivation of an atmosphere where hearts are guarded and uplifted. Scripture 3, Psalm 19:14. May these words of my mouth and this meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. The book of Psalms is a collection of poetic expressions of faith, emotions, and devotion to God. Psalm 19:14 serves as a beautiful reminder of the connection between our inner world and our relationship with the divine. In the context of guarding our hearts, this scripture emphasizes the significance of aligning our inner thoughts and the words we speak with the will of God. Just as a gardener tends to the garden's aesthetics, ensuring it is pleasing to the eye, we are called to make our hearts and our words pleasing to God. To apply Psalm 19:14, we must begin by fostering a relationship with the divine. This involves regular prayer, meditation, and seeking spiritual guidance. As we deepen our connection with God, we become more attuned to His will and His desires for our hearts. Prayer becomes a powerful tool for heart guarding. In our conversations with God, we can lay our worries, fears, and negativity before Him, seeking His guidance and strength to overcome them. This act of surrender allows us to release the burdens that can weigh down our hearts, making space for His peace and grace to dwell within. Furthermore, applying Psalm 19:14 means being mindful of the words we speak. Just as a gardener prunes dead branches and removes weeds, we should be attentive to the impact our words have on others. Avoiding gossip, slander, and hurtful speech is essential for guarding our hearts and nurturing a heart that is pleasing to God. Guarding your heart, as guided by these scriptures, is a multifaceted process that involves nurturing a heart filled with goodness, positive thoughts, and actions that honor God. By filtering out negativity, focusing on virtue, and aligning our hearts with the divine, we cultivate a heart that not only benefits us, but also brings glory to our Creator. Just as a diligent gardener tends to a flourishing garden, we must tend to our hearts, allowing only what is good to thrive within. In doing so, we find strength, peace, and purpose in guarding the garden of our souls.